Right, we're here for Fax TV, and it's pre-Rochdale Hornets this Sunday at the Shea, and after our win against Workington Town. A win at home, nice to be back at home.
It was, a bit of grass on the field as well. Yeah, it was a great result. Not a cracking performance, to be truthful, but they're not a bad team. No matter what anybody says about Workington, you know, they're a combative team, they're a big team, and they've caused a lot of teams issues this season, and they made it real difficult for us to play, but at the end of the day, we brought them down enough times to score the required points to get a result. So after the Wednesday game before against Lee, I just think the result was a good for us, and yeah, really pleased for the boys.
You said on Fax TV after the game that it was 17 fit bodies.
Yes.
Was it just a case of hoping that they gelled and just get a little bit of time, or shall we say there were other factors on the pitch that day that just slowed things down and didn't help?
Well, that was a true statement. Literally we had 17 fit bodies. Well, Adam Robinson made 18 fit bodies, but he's not played for a few weeks. He was our 18th man on the day. We got a few people busted up after the league game, so therefore we had to make a few changes. Callum Casey starting at hooker, and young Keith Holden off the bench. And I thought they both did okay. It was just a real slow game. So we weren't great by any shadow of the word, but we ground it out, and that's literally what we did. We actually ground the results out, which is good. We played for the 80 minutes. Not the most fluent performance, and we need to improve a lot to challenge the top two.
Do you think if some of the kicks came off, particularly for Steve Tyra, that would have changed the momentum of the game early on?
Well, Steve scored. There's no doubt. It's clear on video that Steve got the ball down. All the players around the scene were adamant at the time Steve had scored with one of the kick tries. But in the same instance, they had a perfectly good try disallowed as well in the second half. So swings and roundabouts, people say, but if we score earlier in the game, it may become a different game, because there were times in that game we were just ready to kick on and progress and start playing through the other team, but through whatever happened in the game, it ended up being a stop-start sort of game, which didn't really suit either team, to be fair.
Speaking about Callum, though, was that a forced choice, or did you try to speak to him about that before and said, how do you feel about starting at hooker?
He has played hooker before, for us and also for Leeds Rhinos juniors before he came here. Versatile player, Callum, and you know, Mennell was injured on Wednesday night. We thought was great at Leeds, Mennell, but he got injured in the last 5 minutes. Ben Kay's had surgery. And we just thought if Callum started, we'd be a little bit stronger defensively first, which is it's paramount we start the game strong defensively. And then Keith to come on and speed the game up, and that's what happened, to be truthful. That's what happened. I thought Callum, he's been worthy of his spot in the team for the last few weeks now. He's sort of been tagged with a utility role, but he's a utility player, and there's always room for somebody like that within your squad who can play anywhere within the team, and it's very rare he makes a mistake. It's very stands out, but coaches like that, and the players around him, you watch the players around him, they all like Callum Casey in the team because he does a lot of unseen work.
Have we got anybody coming back for Sunday?
With a few fitness checks tonight. Obviously Dane's been suspended, so we've got Adam Robinson who's fit, so that's a like for like. Back row substitute, a back row player. So apart from that, without seeing the guys tonight, we're probably not, to be truthful. Paul Mennell was the closest to being fit, and I'd be disappointed if Paul doesn't get on the field at the weekend.
How does that make it for you when it comes to training, though, from the beginning of the week? And putting your plans together for Sunday, do you have to pencil in, I hope he's fit, I hope he's fit, I hope that comes off by Thursday night? That's
exactly right, and that's how we do it. We every week we have a selection meeting, and that can last 3-4 days at sometimes, you know, because of injury situations. Like Scott Manell's been out now for 3 weeks, and I don't think Scott's going to be right this week. I was thinking another week should see him good. Ben Kay, he could be fit tonight. but we're unsure. I think, so I say, Paul Mennell. It's difficult, especially in the pivotal areas, with other type of players who play in a similar role to others. It's a little bit easy to compensate, but for specialist roles, pivot people, it's difficult to sort your training out.
At this point, though, it's for the fans at home. Who's involved when it comes to these selection meetings? Is it just the core coaching staff, or is it captain as well?
No, the coaches, myself and Lee Greenwood, we talk every single day, and at times we do involve the leadership group, which is Burrell, Adamson, Tonks. They're involved occasionally of picking the final 17. That's just in rare circumstances. Sometimes it's good to get a player's perspective too. We're very close to our players and coaches, and we do talk to them a lot, and we do take what they say is right, because they're the closest people to the action. They're on the field and they've got to play with the people around them, and it's good to take advice of senior players.
Moving slightly away from the first team, the reserves team, or the under 20s, or whichever way you caught it, they beat Leeds, unbeaten,
yes.
Again, reserve team. Are you tempted to start picking any players out there? Because we know we've got some very good talent down there, like the likes of Joe Martin.
Yes.
Are you at all tempted in the current injury situation to start throwing them into the fire?
Possibly. Quite a few of them, maybe after of the second under 20s, should we say, the under 20s, train with the first team squad fully anyway. So we know where they're at and what they need to do to get in this team. And then players know that as well. Probably Joe Martin probably would have featured this season already, but he's had an horrific run of injuries. He just can't seem to put back-to-back performances in. And last week at Leeds, first game back for a few weeks, he was outstanding. And we hope to get Joe in his first team before the season finishes. But that's down to him, and also down to guys who are above him on the picking order at the moment as well. Joe can play a multitude of positions. Is
that players like Sam Brooks, the kind of type player who he has stepped up, and he's at the moment he's maintaining his position, isn't he?
Yeah, well Sam, and Seb and the young Keith, they've come through the under 20s, and they needed to be tested against playing men's rugby league, and they've both done okay. Although he can keep them in the top squad without taking them out for a rest to put them back in, it's difficult with kids, especially somebody like Sam. So he's playing right in the middle unit, playing against some real big experienced players. He's only 19, with stroke 20-year-old playing in the front row. That's a tough job for anybody, and we've got Spencer as well in that bracket. But we've got some good people around him helping him, and he's not too far away from being one of the first choice players in Brooksy, but that's up to him.
You keep on rotating Jack and Sam in a moment, but they both seem to be playing like they've been playing for the years. Is that a good thing for you as a coach? I
don't understand the question, but rotating. Jack's played in every game since
as I mean, off the bench.
Oh, off the bench, sorry, yes. With the way the modern day prop's gone, it's changed from when I was a front rower, where you're more endurance-based players. You're there for 80 minutes and you dare not come off, or your coach used to hit you with a stick. Now, front rowers are more explosive type players, and they need to keep the level of the game really fast, really intense, and really dominant in that middle part of the field, and that takes its toll, especially on younger players. So we have to keep rotating them to keep the middle unit fresh, because to be truthful, that's where most of the teams play now. When they've got the ball in that middle unit, they keep attacking the ruck defenders, which is unfortunately the big guys.
So moving on to Sunday, Rochdale, we had a good win against them. We got the couple of tries right at the very end. But again, it's going to be quite a bit of a different team against them. But they are a big team.
Yeah.
Do we approach this game any way differently, or is it, again, you're going to have to just approach it with whatever 17 you've got available?
We've got a plan. We've played the same game plan now for a few weeks, and the boys are comfortable and like what we're doing. It's not as fluent as it needs to be, or could be. Maybe that's a bit of a skill element with certain players, but it's still not too far away. We need to approach this. We need to go on a run of games. We're tired, the coach staff and the players, of winning one, losing one, winning one. We need to go to a win situation, and that's what we intend to do. We're preparing to go out there and give a real good showing of ourselves and win this game and get on to the next one, which is Sheffield the week after.
Because that's not going to be easy, because that's at the new old ground, Alderton Park.
Yeah, we'll talk about that one next week, but it's not a pretty place.
Well, good luck for Sunday, Karl. We'll speak to you after the game.
Thanks, PJ.